Okay, this is going to be a fun one. Hold on to your seats. Okay. Let's read Matthew 24. Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall be not one here left stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And he answered them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all the nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, then let him that be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For there will be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Clearly talking about the end of the world. And except those days be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days will be shortened. So clearly no flesh shall be saved has eternal consequences here. He's talking about the Great Tribulation and the mark of the beast. But some interesting things to point out. One taken, one left. This is that kind of language. It's also talking about the temple being destroyed in their time. But here's an interesting point. Whether you take this completely to be in the first century, which is ludicrous, by the way, but if you do, it still applies to you. If you think this is talking about the Great Tribulation, and it is, which is a future event, the time of Jacob's trouble, notice these verses. You want a verse in the New Testament that says the Sabbath, to keep the Sabbath? How about from the words of Jesus? Because even if it's the first temple in view in 70 AD, which they did flee from Judea, by the way, to Pilla, the Christians did when the Romans surrounded the city. But either way, this is after the new covenant's been established. Was Jesus wrong? Are you a literalist? Why would he say that to his believing ones, that we're going to establish his new covenant church? Did he not know he was going to do away with the Sabbath and never said he was going to do away with the Sabbath? No, he didn't, did he? And he spoke about future events, and he's God. So, is the Sabbath justified in the New Testament? Is the Sabbath? I ask you a question. God made it holy to the very beginning. If you read it carefully, let's look at that. The question to you is this: on what grounds is the Sabbath not still holy? And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work. The seventh day, not 1 and 7, on the seventh day. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which he had created and made. So, is the Sabbath day still holy? Is it still sanctified? Why isn't it? Why wouldn't it be? Oh, if you're a Bible literalist and you take prophecy straightforward and think the Bible's about Israel, and we should read it strictly about Israel in the future, which I don't think is correct necessarily in the sense of how dispensationalists think about it. But if you do, and that's how you interpret the Bible, what do you do with this? For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, says the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another. All flesh will come to worship me, says the Lord. All flesh on every Sabbath worship before me. In the new heavens and the new earth. Somebody better call God and tell him he forgot he was going to do away with it. Oh, what's my point? You have no excuse. Yet them that they seek me and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching me. Let's see. It's the one I wanted. Thus says the Lord. So when this was written, he's looking ahead to Christ coming. Keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation, that's Christ, is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Jesus. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, keeping his hand from doing any evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, don't say this, the Lord has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I'm a dry tree. For thus says the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things that please me and take hold of my covenant. Jesus brought the new covenant. The context is, this is Jesus coming to bring the new covenant. Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a place and a name better than that of sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. And the sons of the strangers that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, taketh hold of my covenant. Even them I will bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar, and my house shall be called the house of prayer for all people. All people. So this is in the context of all people. Our sacrifice is Christ, obviously. He hasn't revealed that yet. But that's what that represented. But he's talking about his righteousness, which is Christ. He's talking about foreigners. So, remember the Sabbath.